Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division video today by me, Vulcan. Today I have for you the first game of a best of 3 between Gal O'Neill and DuroSVK as part of the Great Paradox Tourney. This is round 1. So, today we're going to be seeing Colleville as our map, and Gal O'Neill is going to be rocking out with the Guards Armoured, and DuroSVK is going to be using the 17th SS Panzer Grenadier, which is one of the divisions I expect to see quite a lot moving on throughout this tournament. I feel like they are a very good versatile division. Their Stoss Troop are absolutely fantastic and very sort of cheap, I guess, as well. So I would like to see DuroSVK do well with the 17th SS, but at the same time I really want to see Gal O'Neill do well with the Guards Armoured, a very interesting division to see at the start. And he's going to be bringing out 4 Humber Mark 3s. Be interested to see if he actually changes any of these, but he could be very aggressive with this setup at the start. And I feel like the Guards Armoured actually works pretty well against the 17th SS because they have the Cromwells that can directly counter the Pack 38 IG combo. The only trouble with that is the 17th SS does have access to a Pack 40, I believe, in Phase A, which may cause some issues to any Cromwell 6s that do appear, like this one just here. I reckon what the idea with Gal O'Neill is going to be is he spreads out his Humbers, drops off the recon, uses the Humbers to hold forward the front line, and then goes for like a concentrated push, it looks like, with the Stuart 6, the Cromwell 6, and maybe just a Dingo there to give them the extra veterancy. That might be just his play. Whereas on the side of Duro, we have the SPW 221 at the bottom, which is a pretty nice counter actually for the Humbers. Then the KFZ 70. We've got the Schwimmwagen there with the Stoss Troop most likely. MG down at the bottom as well. Looks like an IG and the Pack 38 for the centre. Could be the Pack 40 actually, although I don't think the Pack 40 comes towed by a Schwimmwagen, I'm not entirely sure. But with an MG as well. Recon, Stoss Troop, more infantry there as well. I think those are Panzer Grenadiers most likely. And then we have another IG and MG combo at the top side. So it looks like DuroSVK is spreading out a lot more than Gal O'Neill likely is. Gal O'Neill providing a couple units of rifles to assist his Cromwell and Stuart as he pushes forwards. So we're likely going to see quite a contention between the mid area. If the AT guns get taken out here, the Cromwell 6 and the Stuart could break through quite significantly with the help of the Humbers. On the top side, this is very in favour of the 17th SS if they use their smoke correctly. Pushing through these orchards with all of these breaks in the line of sight works out very nicely. On the bottom side, tends to be left alone a lot. Not too much goes on down here generally. However, I am ready to be proved wrong. So the Humber Mark 3 coming down here. Going to be trying to get into position to maybe shoot at some of the stuff coming down the road. The main engagement on this bottom side will be between the Humber Mark 3 and the SPW 221. If the Humber Mark 3 can kill the 221 before the 221 can get on target, then the Humber Mark 3 will be able to dominate the rest of the infantry here, which is pretty important. +1 already for Gal O'Neill. So it is a Pack 38 IG combo in the middle, and that's going to be absolutely destroyed by the Cromwell. I feel like this is a really big mistake from DuroSVK here. DuroSVK is actually like rank 47 on the leaderboard. You'd think he would know not to let both of his units like this get killed so close together. I'm just waiting for these guys to die. Yes, the Stuart 6 has just been bailed out there, but this Cromwell isn't falling back anytime soon and will continue to hit and kill off these IG-18s and the Pack 38 there. And with those units dead, that will allow any infantry that's brought in to reinforce to break through in the centre. Rifles on the bottom side are going to have to deal with some Stoss Troop. There is the contention here. Stoss Troop should be able to beat rifles quite convincingly in close quarters combat, but we do see the Humber Mark 3 is going to be taken out by the SPW 221, but was providing some fire onto the Aufklärer. Cromwell is currently firing in that area though. Seems like the recon is giving enough information in order to see the MG42 there as well. So Gallo Neal's use of recon at the start of this game definitely helping him out. Just got to be careful with this engagement between the 221 and the Humber Mark III. Here it goes. Never mind. DuroSVK going to pull away from that. Currently a solid 50-50. Cromwell 6 is doing very well against his MG42 at the moment. We'll just probably finish that off with the help of the Humber Mark III. And then we're likely to see the recon continue forwards, spot more of these units, which is going to allow more targets for that Cromwell 6. And playing around that Cromwell 6 for the rest of the game is going to be very important for Gallo Neal. He can definitely make that work, and this is exactly what can happen to the 17th SS if they don't pick or end up with a favourable matchup. So the Stuart 6 is currently engaging the 221. Now the 221 has a really solid rate of fire and a decent AP value, so if it starts to get on target onto the Stuart 6, it could definitely win. And you don't want your Stuart 6 to like fall back in this scenario, otherwise it's going to be in a very bad position, especially like I said with the rate of fire of the 221. The Humber Mark III coming round here to try and save the day. If that can get its gun on target, we might see that get killed. Never mind, just going to fall back. Panzergrenzer engaging the rifles here. Smoke goes down. I believe that was the Stosstroop. Yes, indeed. Duro is going to be trying to get those as close as possible to the rifles to win that engagement, and Gallo Neal rightly runs the hell away. He does not want to have his Stosstroop kill his rifles. That's not good. So I like the way that he's respecting the smoke coming out there from Duro, and it's expecting the Stosstroop to move forwards. That's really, really nice to see. More rifles arriving, however, and his rifles haven't actually already taken any damage yet, so it's just going to be like complete overkill of rifles on the bottom side. But with the support of the Humber Mark III and the Stuart, he should be able to break through quite convincingly and take some ground there. 54% territory currently for Gallo Neal. Recce on the top side, are they spotting anything for him? I'm sure they will be soon once they bump into those Stosstroop, I'll tell you that much. The Humber Mark III is going to be engaged by the Pak-38. Pak-38 should be able to get on target, honestly. Humber Mark III only has to move down a little bit to break that line of sight, but doesn't look like Gallo Neal is going to notice that. Rifles are able to get some shots onto the Stosstroop. Recce are coming under fire, however. And I believe that's going to be the Recce dead on the top side there. Even if the Humber Mark III gets on target, yeah. And as they continue to move down, they will continue to be in line of sight of the M5 half-track and the Humber Mark III anyway, so we might see those Stosstroop die. What's this Pak-38 aiming at? I think it's got line of sight onto the half-track, hasn't it? Yes, indeed. Okay, so the engagement continues on the bottom side. The rifles are pushing through quite dramatically. We have a Dingo arriving to provide the extra command, so that when the Stuart pops around the corner with the Humber Mark III, they can get some accurate shots towards this 221. However, the Pak-40 is arriving on this bottom side. This is what I was talking about with the 17th SS. It's a Pak-40. Can do a lot of damage to things like the Stuart 6s and the Humber Mark IIIs. Currently the Stuart and the Humber Mark III double teaming the 221 now that the Dingo has arrived. Really nicely timed. Takes out the 221, is going to continue to push through on this bottom side. Gallo Neal's playing really, really well at the moment around these forces, and bringing all that recon at the start of the game really helped him out, especially with the Humber Mark IIIs. Well, the Humber Mark IIIs were originally nerfed quite hard in that they had their AP taken away from them, so this strategy never used to work, but now it's been brought back and the AP is now available, they're decent for killing off half-tracks and those like armoured cars again, which is exactly what we just saw there. So the Humber Mark III is now moving up, sort of charging down the Pak-40, I guess. The Pak-40 is going to have a hard time getting line of sight onto it if Gallo Neal keeps that in the right location. Stuart 6 has been forced back and did take transmission damage from the Pak-40. Oh, that's a shame. A little bit of a miss micro there. And maybe Gallo Neal didn't realise that that tree was like blocking line of sight onto the Pak-40, otherwise he might not have charged so recklessly out into the open. So the Stuart 6 in the mid is still bailed out. Cromwell 6 is still sitting there as well. If this recon starts moving forwards and gets line of sight onto the IG or the Pak-38, those could definitely be assaulted by the Cromwell 6. But what has Duro got to do to bring this back? Because currently Gallo Neal has the +1 and is ticking up points. I think what I'd like to see is probably the Stug 3, honestly. The 2-star Stug 3 that you can get at the start of the game, bring that up the centre of the map, take out the Stuart 6 for good, take out the Cromwell 6. That should be a very good way to punch through the middle of the map. He managed to afford himself the Pack 40, so bringing in the Stug 3 would be a good shout as well. He has brought it in, but maybe that should go to the centre instead of the bot side, because the centre is much more open, and that way you can basically retreat a lot easier from half tracks, or not half tracks, but AT guns that might ambush you. Like in this area, if you play around the tree lines properly, then the Stug should be able to survive quite easily. He's also got the 223 there, so that could also provide the 3-star veterancy that would allow the Stug 3 to hit its mark pretty much every time. But this is a nice choice by Gallo to bring the Cromwell 6 down to the bottom side, as that will be able to attack the Pack 40 here from a decent distance. It just shouldn't be in range. You can do the fire position trick from out of range, and yeah, he should be trying to take advantage of his smoke to reposition his Cromwell 6, because DuroSVK has actually provided him with that smoke. And there we go. Pack 40 is going to get the kill shot before the Cromwell can pin him down. So the rifle's now pushing up. 6-pounder, I think, has revealed itself to the Outclarer as well. So Duro knows that's there. His Stug 3 isn't going to be in so much of a bad position if that 6-pounder's already dealt with, so that's good. And then bringing that Stug 3 down to the bottom side is not a bad idea at all. However, as you can see in the top side, the 2-inch carrier has actually managed to pick off the Pack 38, which is going to allow these half tracks to have a lot more pressure up here, especially onto things like the IG-18 and these MG-32s and the Panzer Grenadiers. Without any AT on the top side, these half tracks can really do a lot of damage, and that's the beauty of like an armoured division. But the rifles currently being forced to fall back. The Stug is charging forwards. This could be a bad decision though, especially if the Stuart pops out and gets a shot, because at close range the Stuart is not only half decent in accuracy, 5 accuracy, but also has a very fast aim time, and the Stug 3 will have to turn its entire hull to get on target. Still the +1 though for Gallo. IG-18 did reveal itself, so the 2-inch carrier going to be starting to pin that down. Looks like the half tracks were forced to fall back by the Pack 38 in the mid. However, a new Cromwell 6 is arriving, and that will maybe come up and take advantage of his newfound information. Gallo now knows that there's both the IG-18 here, he can see it with his recon, and he can also now see the AT gun. If he gets line of sight with the Cromwell, he can take out both of those and exploit the middle of the map a lot, especially considering the Stug's sitting at the bottom side here. I think the Cromwell is actually firing at the Stug here. Maybe if he can get a few shots on it and start to make it fall back, then he will be able to engage it with the Stuart at close range. But the Pack 40 is currently moving forwards towards this tree line. I guess it can do if the Panzer Grenadiers are here. However, it's very risky because it reveals its location, puts it in range of the 2-inch carrier, and that's not good. By the way, these Panzer Grens, they don't have any Panzerfaust, so the Stuart 5 or 6 here doesn't actually have to be as careful as it is being. You could have the Stuart right next to the tree line. As soon as the Panzer Grens come through, the Stuart 6 spots them, kills them off. Like 3 30 cals on target, it's going to rip those guys to shreds. Stug 3 is going to take shots at the Stuart 6 that's bailed out. Sherman 5 is on the way to the bottom side, because we've now moved into phase B. The pressure's still on here, those Panzer Grens getting ripped to shreds. On the top, the half-track still trying to make their mark, but the Pack 38 has rolled up here, and the IG-18 is going to get the shot into the side of that half-track, which is going to cause its death. 2-inch carriers trying to trade with the 81mm mortar up here. This 81mm mortar shouldn't even be in range of a 2-inch carrier, honestly. 700 meter range, 1200 meter range. you should be making use of that 500 meter range advantage there, Duro. Either way, Stug 3 is currently being forced to fall back by the Sherman. Pack 40 is not going to be in a position to fire at that Sherman either. Double Sherman 5 coming down to the bottom side now. Cromwell 6 still moving through the center of the map. With the information from his recon, Gallo Neal can still see the Pack 38 and the IG. If he gets the Cromwell into a decent position, he can actually engage this Pack 38 from 1,200 meter range. He wants to be checking this line of sight tool because there is definitely line of sight onto that Pack 38 right now. Stoss Troop going to get taken out with the help of the Dingo and the Stuart 6 on the bottom side. That gets rid of some of the infantry there and some of the presence that is being caused by Duro. German 5's now taking shots at the MG42. So ideally what we want to see here is Gallo Neal try and double team the Stug 3. He doesn't want to like try and engage that one at a time because this Stug 3 has a decent chance, especially with the 2-star veterancy, of penetrating a Sherman 5 just like that. Whereas if it was double teamed, you would pin down the Stug 3 much quicker and it would make it much less accurate that much quicker as well. And now we have the Pack 43 arriving on the bottom side. That's going to tell Gallo Neal to start avoiding this side of the map entirely. Maybe focus on breaking through on the top side where he's having a lot of success. Motorized rifles try to use their Piat to take out the Marder 3. Not quite successful with the first shot, maybe with the second shot. Not quite in range anymore though. DuroSVK reversing just out of range. 2-inch mortar carrier here. Still trying to go and hit the 81mm mortar. Motorized rifles go down. This recon's still in a fantastic position. Yeah, the +1 still for Gallo Neal. It looks like Duro's just constantly playing reactive at the moment, and Gallo Neal's now bringing in a Cromwell 6 or 7 to the top side, and that Cromwell 7, if Duro isn't careful, could break through quite convincingly. Again, with the combination of the Cromwell 6 taking out the Pack 38, and finding this Panzerschreck would leave the entire top side vulnerable. And if I go to Gallo Neal's point of view, you know, he can still see this Pack 38.
Ready, sir.
He can't quite see the Panzerschreck, which is unfortunate. They do have the very good stealth. If this recon squad was actually on the top side of this tree line, he'd probably have spotted the Panzerschreck moving across there. But still, there's a good chance that Panzerschreck will reveal itself attacking the 2-inch carrier, and then the Cromwell would be safe anyway. But on the bottom side, we do see the Pack 43 coming into range of the Sherman 5. Sherman 5 is going to fall back. On the top side, Cromwell 7 is being engaged by an IG-18. However, that isn't something that is going to last very long. Motorized rifle leader is waiting for the Panzerschreck to come into line of sight, I believe. The 2-inch mortar carrier running away. So, yep, that Panzerschreck is revealed. And if now this Pack 38 is taken out, which it could be again, you can get the line of sight on there, then, you know, the DuroSVK would be in big trouble. But currently, Gallo Neal not spotting that opportunity in the mid there, which is unfortunate. On the bottom side, I think he's just concentrating too much down here and up here to really think about using his Cromwell 6 in the mid. 17-pounder has arrived on the top side, and if this Marder 3 comes into range, is probably going to die. That 17-pounder has a decent chance of one-shotting, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Marder 3 is dead indeed. Again, makes matters even worse for Duro now. And has he spotted this opportunity? He's got the attack move going, so he might see the shot fire. He might see the shot fire, and if he does, I think that Gallo Neal might take advantage of this. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so he managed to do quite a lot of damage there. Did he see that attack occur, though? Because if he did, then he could have kept that there and kept attacking the Pack 38, but he didn't. Crew knockout from the JA-87 onto the Cromwell 7. The Cromwell 7 still alive. And that Cromwell 7 does have 11 front armor, and the AP on this JU-87 is only 9. Well, that's going to be a one-shot into the side of that Cromwell. Can the Ju-87 stay in the air and take out the Cromwell 7 as well? Doesn't look like Duro is convinced. Pack 43 going to be going down to the Sexton on the top side. There goes the Panzerschreck, bumps into the motorised rifles and the motorised rifle leader there. +1 still in favour of Gal O'Neill. So with the Pack 43 going down there and the Sexton arriving, that also puts the Pack 40 under pressure. That Pack 40 is revealed, so I would not be surprised to see the Sexton aiming at that. Yes, indeed, that's going to happen. Gal O'Neill playing this division very, very well, I feel. And he's playing around a lot of what Duro is doing very nicely, and he has such good recon right now. Just look at what he can see. This is really nice. You can see where the mortar is, you can see the IG-18 in the mid, you can see the Flak 36. You can't see the AT gun anymore here, so that might catch him out. But still, his recon is very, very good. And the fact that he made good use of the Humbers as well at the start of the game just capitalized on that so much. Really, really well played by Gal O'Neill in this one, for sure. Making it very hard for DuroSVK to do anything unnoticed. Pack 38 is going to reveal itself, firing at the M5 half-track. That might draw the fire of the Sexton, honestly. Although the Sexton's still trying to go for the kill shot onto the Pack 40. Let's see where the Sexton fires next. 17 pounder still sitting around on the top side. M5 half-track does go down to the Pack 38 eventually. The Cromwell 7 honestly could sneak out here and quickly take that out with a shot. The great thing about the Cromwells is they do have 5 HE, so they definitely do a lot of damage to Pack 38s should they get on target. But nope, the Sexton's going to keep going for the kill onto the Pack 40. Stuart is still pinning down the Panzergrenz here, and we're going to have this Stuart try and sneak out and hit the 221. However, the Stug 3 is still alive, and that Stug 3 is going to finish off the Stuart's 6 there. Bit of a mistake, I feel, from Gal O'Neill in the bot side. There's no reason to reveal your Stuart in that situation. You know that this Stug's here. Pretty sure he could see it. He could definitely see it now, but I'm pretty sure he could see it earlier. This recon's pretty much been here the entire game. So trying to go for that engagement. Maybe he was just trying to kill off the 221 quickly, but yeah, it just didn't work out. Moving into phase C now. Solid 20 minutes into this game. And it's looking quite hard for Duro right now. He has now brought in the Stug to the bottom side, but what I'm very surprised not to see is Duro try and exploit the use of the Stugs in the middle of the map, where it's way more open. This is what I expected to see out of the 17th SS. I knew that his IG-18 Pack 38 combo would be kind of wrecked by the Cromwell 6s of the Guards Armoured. So I expected the Stugs to come out a lot sooner, and when they did, they would go down the middle of the map where it's nice and open, and you can use your own recon to spot the AT guns at a distance and then work around that. But in this case, not going to happen. Stug 4 is actually engaging the Sherman 5 at range, which is good. And if he can get that kill, honestly, with some infantry reinforcement down here, he might be able to break through the bottom side tree lines. But we do see Harris on the way in his Firefly. This Firefly just looks so damn cool with the extra tracks attached to it. Right, here comes the Ju-87 again. Going to be providing more fun for the party. What's that going for? Can Duro see the Firefly? I think he could briefly. He's going to be going for the Sherman 5 there. However, this time round, Gal O'Neill has the Tempest available and is going to shoot down the Ju-87. Really good job there by Gal O'Neill getting that Tempest in and affording that in order to take down the Ju-87 that could have been very deadly for his Sherman 5. But now we have the Firefly Harris engaging the Stug 3 at 1,200 meter range. Going to do the job with the command star from the Sherman 5. That's a 2-star veteran Firefly, which is going to be able to engage the Stug 4 at max range and definitely have a decent amount of AP value. this penetration value from the Stug to the Firefly is massive. Like 16 AP versus 12 armor and 12 armor versus 11 armor, or 12 AP versus 11 armor. I mean, you do the math. Firefly is going to win that pretty much every time, unless the Stug gets really lucky. Job done. Firefly Harris comes in, picks off those 2 Stugs, and that's going to make it very hard work for Duro, who's now brought in this Nebelwerfer, but that's instantly being counter-batteried by the Sexton. Really, really good job there by Gal. Now those Nebelwerfers, that probably would have been better in the top side. So, yeah, I think it's just an interesting... Like, he definitely knows how to play around the division a little bit here. Like Duro, he knows the generic combinations. But that's actually going to cause Duro to surrender as he loses those 2 Stugs on the bottom side. And after 22 minutes and 48 seconds, Gal O'Neill is going to be victorious with his Guards Armoured Division versus the 17th SS. So yeah, like I was saying, I think it was just like a very weird lack of recon on Duro's side of things, which didn't allow him to exploit the centre of the map there. Like when that Cromwell 6 was sitting in the mid, you just want to charge that with a Stug down the main road. There is nothing else you want to do in that situation. Make sure you have the recon ahead of it, of course, so that there's no AT guns in the way. But, you know, I've seen Stug 3s take out AT guns many times before. So even if a Stug 3 or an AT gun from the Guards Armoured fires and misses, the Stug 3 could easily kill it. Because Stug 3's 3-star veterancy with a decent amount of HE, and also has the machine guns as well if it's close enough. And the Guards Armoured 6-pounders in Phase A aren't veteran. They don't have any veterancy. So you can definitely take advantage of that. And I feel like Duro missed out on that in this game, which is unfortunate. But definitely both players played reasonably well. Gal O'Neill, I feel like, was on the ball in this one for sure. That recon strategy at the start of the game worked out very well. And 1,610 kills to 1,085 losses in the end for him. So the Sherman 5 coming in there, picking off a couple of Alpha Clara, which is good. His recon, spotting their recon and him taking them out, MG42. Cromwell 7 at the top side took out the IG-18, provided some fire support up there. That 17-pounder landing the one shot onto the Marder 3 was great. Tempest coming in, taking out the Ju-87G. Kind of turned things around a lot because it allowed the tanks to continue to provide the pressure that they otherwise wouldn't have if a Ju-87 was flying around. And then the Firefly Harris coming in there, taking out the 2 Stugs. Pretty much ended the game. This Humber Mark III got the kill onto the Marder 3 at the top side, I think that was. That's pretty impressive. Really nice actually, because that Humber Mark III only has 3 AP, and the Marder 2 has, or Marder 3 has 2 armor. So that must have been pretty lucky actually. A little bit of luck, but very, very well played by Gal O'Neill to take the first game in the best of 3. If Gal O'Neill can secure the second game, then he's done it. He's moved on to the second round of the Great Paradox Tourney. But in the meantime, that's all. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.